The Haunted Cupboard. In the quiet, sleepy town of Greenwood, nestled far away from the bustle of the city, there was a quaint old house at the end of Willow Street. The house had been abandoned for years, a decaying relic of a bygone era. Locals whispered about strange occurrences that happened within its walls, but the most chilling tale was centered around a seemingly innocent cupboard tucked away in the corner of the living room. It was a gloomy autumn evening when Sarah and Mark, a young couple new to the town, decided to make the old house their new home. The low price seemed too good to pass up, and they were enchanted by the rustic charm of the place. Unfazed by the rumors, they moved in with their belongings, excited about their new chapter. As they settled in, Sarah couldn't help but notice the cupboard in the living room. It was beautifully carved, its woodwork intricate and alluring. Mark dismissed the stories as mere superstition, but Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that there was something off about the cupboard. One night, as they were lying in bed, a soft scratching sound echoed through the house. Mark blamed it on rodents, but Sarah's unease grew. The next night, the scratching returned, accompanied by faint whispers that seemed to emanate from the cupboard itself. Sarah woke Mark, her heart racing as she listened to the eerie voices. Curiosity turned to dread, and they decided to investigate. Sarah opened the cupboard door slowly, revealing a narrow space that seemed to stretch farther than the dimensions of the house should allow. The whispers grew louder, forming indistinct words that sent shivers down their spines. Before they could react, a sudden gust of wind erupted from the cupboard, extinguishing the nearby candles and plunging them into darkness. As they fumbled for a flashlight, they realized the whispers were no longer confined to the cupboard. They enveloped the room, a chilling chorus that seemed to come from all directions. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped, the walls of the living room seemingly closing in on them. The cupboard's dark horror was consuming the room, distorting reality itself. In a desperate bid to escape, they slammed the cupboard shut, but the whispers persisted, now a symphony of tormenting voices that echoed in their minds. Mark grabbed a nearby axe, his fear giving way to determination. With a swift, determined strike, he destroyed the cupboard, splintering it into pieces. As the last remnants of the cupboard crumbled, the room fell silent. The darkness receded, and the whispers faded away. Sarah and Mark were left breathless, surrounded by the wreckage. The haunting presence had vanished, leaving behind an eerie calm. They left the old house the next day, unable to bear the weight of its history. As they drove away from Willow Street, Sarah glanced back at the house one last time. In the wreckage, she thought she saw a shadowy figure, a specter of the past, perhaps, finally released from its wooden prison. To this day, the house remains abandoned, a testament to the couple's harrowing experience. Locals still speak of the haunted cupboard and the night when whispers from the beyond tore through the fabric of reality itself. And every so often, a brave soul decides to venture inside, drawn by the chilling legend that refuses to be forgotten. Story 2: Whispers from the Cupboard. Once, in a quiet and picturesque village nestled deep within the woods, there stood an old, creaky cottage that bore witness to countless generations. It was said that this cottage was home to a sinister secret that had been passed down through the ages, a spirit trapped within a hidden cupboard, waiting to be set free. The cottage had been abandoned for years, its walls sagging and its windows shattered. Many villagers believed the tales of the trapped spirit were mere legends, designed to keep children from venturing near the eerie cottage. However, there were others who swore they had heard whispers carried on the wind from within the house, whispers that chilled the bones and sent shivers down the spine. One gloomy autumn evening, a group of daring teenagers decided to put the legend to the test. Led by the curious and fearless Anna, they gathered around the decrepit cottage, armed with flashlights and hearts pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Anna was drawn to a peculiar, ornate cupboard tucked away in a corner of the cottage's living room. It was covered in layers of dust, its door barely hanging on its hinges. With a determined glint in her eye, Anna stepped forward and slowly turned the tarnished knob. The door groaned open, revealing a small, dimly lit space within. As the door opened wider, the air seemed to thicken, and a cold breeze rustled through the room. Anna shone her flashlight inside, revealing an assortment of forgotten trinkets, tattered books, and a single, weathered journal. She gingerly picked up the journal and began to read aloud the faded words penned on its pages. With each word spoken, the air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding descended upon the room. Anna's friends exchanged uneasy glances, their unease palpable. Suddenly, a low whisper emerged from the depths of the cupboard, almost too soft to be heard. Anna froze, her heart racing as she strained to make out the words. "Release me. Release," the whisper repeated, growing stronger with each repetition. The air itself seemed to tremble, and the room darkened as if a shadow had enveloped it. The teenagers exchanged panicked looks, their disbelief replaced by terror. They realized they had unleashed something far beyond their comprehension. Frantic and trembling, they tried to shut the cupboard door, but it resisted, as if held open by an invisible force. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, and the room filled with a chilling, otherworldly presence. Anna's grip on the journal tightened as she realized the truth. The spirit was real, and it sought release. In desperation, Anna closed her eyes and mustered her courage. With a trembling voice, she spoke aloud, "We're sorry for disturbing you. We release you from this place." A gust of icy wind swept through the room, extinguishing the flashlights and leaving the teenagers in darkness. The whispers grew into a cacophony, a symphony of haunting voices, before gradually fading away. When the teenagers dared to open their eyes, the cupboard door stood closed. The room was once again bathed in the feeble light of the moon filtering through broken windows. The air felt lighter, the sense of dread had lifted. As they stumbled out of the cottage, their minds raced with what they had experienced. The legend had been real, and they had come face to face with the spirit that had been imprisoned for so long. From that night on, the village knew the cottage was no longer abandoned. And though the teenagers never spoke of that night, the whispers from the cupboard haunted their memories, a constant reminder of the world beyond the veil of the ordinary.